So less than 6 months ago, you penned an op-ed on CNN.com writing that President Biden has made it clear that unlike Trump, he will respect the decisions of the courts and not use his power to pardon Hunter Biden, even if the outcome is devastating for his son. How times have changed. What's your reaction?
Well, yeah, he's changed. The times have changed, meaning he ultimately withdrew from the race. He was defeated. I think, like many of Trump's opponents, he's worried about how Trump will use presidential power, and he's decided to reverse this and protect family in this case through this awesome power of the presidency. So I think President Biden is willing to live with the inconsistency and the change in position to protect his son.
And historically speaking, is this a fair and reasonable way for a president to use their power to grant a pardon?
Well, yeah, I mean, the power of the pardon is incredibly broad. That's why it's controversial. People have used it for political reasons. People have used it for very controversial decisions. Famously, President Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon for crimes that he might have committed in 1974. So there's not much of a template in terms of what you can or can't do. And this seems to fall under that jurisdiction pretty clearly.
And of course, Biden has tried to reassure the public, the American citizens, that they can trust in these institutions. So what sort of message does this now send that he's saying that these were politically motivated charges?
Well, I think he's being a little more candid and open with positions he was more leery about talking about, really, even through the time he was still campaigning. And I think some of this is a kind of departing warning. It's not simply about his son, but it's a warning about the need to be proactive and aggressive in protecting people and protecting institutions against what he is arguing is someone who will make politically motivated decisions like this, and he said elsewhere, stretch or abuse presidential power. So I think this serves both purposes.
And Julian, I just want to turn to Donald Trump and the cabinet he's selecting. Certainly a lot of controversial names so far, but also we're hearing that Trump is appointing family members to posts. Jared Kushner's father, Charles, who Trump gave a full pardon to for criminal convictions that included filing false tax returns, will be appointed the ambassador to France. And then, of course, we heard that he'll appoint Tiffany, Trump's father, as a Middle East advisor. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not a total surprise in that during the first term we saw this. Obviously, Jared Kushner, for example, his son-in-law was a very important advisor. His sons and daughter played a big role in the administration. He is not someone who has felt the need to create a very significant, if any, firewall between his family, his business, and himself. And so now he is doing it again. He reaches out to people he feels he's close to, who he trusts, but it will cause, concerns. There's a reason that many presidents have avoided this kind of familial connection in the last few decades just to avoid these kinds of issues. But this is not something that troubles the president-elect.